disrespectful for Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight?
No, you know, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
That being a biggest fight possible in boxing, is that something you'd actually be interested in?
You know, it's crazy when you ask him about that because you say, your Machado is coming out of the other weight class and that's it, and he's welterweight. So don't make sense. He's a great fighter, but for me in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in, because you know I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is no. But if the fight makes sense, why not?
A lot of people have him at #1 pound for pound. You think that's fair to you?
You know, it's a few people there who deserve be the #1 pound for pound, and it's fine.
Canelo Alvarez, boxing's reigning champion, has responded to Terence Crawford's recent challenge with a heated message that has fans buzzing in a new video. Alvarez strongly stated, "Send me the contract," indicating his openness to a potential showdown with Crawford, who has been vociferous about testing himself against the Mexican superstar at this Clash of Champions, has sparked significant anticipation about what could be one of the most electrifying fights in recent history.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as #1.
Has the Canelo fight, realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you're still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk. With the right business come across the table, it happened. I just be talking, man. Canelo a big dude, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe in my abilities. He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'8", you know what I mean? My arm's longer than his, so that fight would be good.
Canelo Alvarez, from Guadalajara, Mexico, is a 4-time world winner and the current undisputed super middleweight champion. Canelo is known for his outstanding power, defensive skills, and versatility in the ring, and he has challenged and beaten some of boxing's biggest names, cementing his place as one of the best.
Canelo is beating these guys with all 5 layers of defense. #1, feet. #2, elbows, hands, shoulders, and the mind. This is exactly how both of those guys got to the highest level of boxing supremacy. Canelo Alvarez means to the Mexican fans what Floyd Money Mayweather meant for black people. 50 wins in boxing, no losses, no draws. And follow for more.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? Were you 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him because if you beat him, you wanna be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience. He's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
You think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think it's tough fights and difficult fights. That was a difficult fight.
Terence Crawford, from Omaha, Nebraska, is a multi-division world champion with belts in the lightweight, light welterweight, welterweight, and super welterweight divisions. He is known for his switch-hitting skill, ring IQ, and knockout power. Crawford became the undisputed welterweight king after defeating Errol Spence Jr.
When he fought Canelo and he was like standing right in front of Canelo and Canelo's just whiffing, it was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing and weave. That's all what he learned from fighting Floyd.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? It's scores a knockdown every time. The power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
I'll say he is the hardest, for sure. One of the fighters that hit very hard was Angulo. You know, he's a Cuban guy, and he punched very hard too, so I'll say both of them are like the same, but you know, with Canelo, I was just mentally ready for his shots. You know, I already told myself, I know I'm gonna get hit. I know I'm gonna get hit on my chin, but it's, you know, I gotta bite down on my mouthpiece and push. You know, and look what happened in the third round. I got hit with a left hook. We be practicing in camp the whole time, you know, keeping my right hand to my chin, and I wound up just moving, and he connected right on my chin. And you see how I punched my glove, you know, that's like a thing for me when my last time when I got dropped, I was punching my gloves, 'cause I'm like, damn, I got hit with a shot. I'm not supposed to be on the floor. But, you know, it comes with boxing. You know, the greats done got dropped, you know, got hurt, but it's about how you come back and respond.
Following his latest victory, Crawford openly challenged Canelo, declaring his willingness to step up to 168 pounds to face the Mexican superstar. Canelo replied to the call-out with a video message, saying, "If he really wants to fight, send me the contract." This comment shows Canelo's willingness to fight as long as the parameters are agreeable.
All right, we have to talk about this. Terence Crawford just tweeted, Canelo versus Crawford is definitely by far the biggest fight in boxing. This guy is not playing around. All right, Crawford, pound for pound #1. Canelo, biggest star in boxing still at the moment. Anywhere. I'm not talking about just in the US, Mexico, the UK, everywhere. Canelo is now open. At first it was, hey, I can't go down to 160. I can't do a catch weight of 160. If he wants to fight me, it's gonna be at 168. Plus, I'm not gonna get any credit if I beat a Terence Crawford. It would be like Terence Crawford fighting Tank, moving 2 weight classes up, and I'm not gonna get credit for that. Terence Crawford is a special fighter. He is like a Floyd and a Manny that can move up to weight classes, carry his power, can beat up bigger guys. He's a special.
The big weight disparity is one of the most hotly debated parts of this potential match. Canelo has been fighting at 168 pounds, while Crawford has recently fought at 147 and 154 pounds. Canelo has voiced worrying about the size disparity, claiming that weight classes exist for a reason and that moving up through numerous categories can be difficult.
Like Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight, he's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
Demetrius Andrade, a former world champion and seasoned boxer, has spoken out on the probable fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing the value of size and experience in higher weight classes. Andrade's evaluation is consistent with numerous expert appraisals, which recognize Crawford's remarkable skills while emphasizing the particular hurdles he would face against a fighter of Canelo's ability.
Vomiting, it was just tough, man. It was just a tough year. Which at the end of the day, I'm a fighter. I believe who I am, with confidence and my skills and talent. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I do. It was just tough. And did it play in the fight? It played in the whole circle. You know, like the communication level, like between me and my dad, just a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That usually is there, wasn't there because of the situation, which is to me fine, because I went through with it. I believe in myself, my talent, and whatever happens, happens. But I'm not gonna be shy or run away from something because like life is going on. But this is my life also, in boxing.
Yeah, what caused, you mentioned your brother was in a coma on the 4th floor, your mom in a coma in the 5th floor. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes I'm letting a little bit out. It's more like an intimate settings where I can sit down and have an interview, and I feel like I can like tell somebody face to face Over the phone is kind of like, not the proper way I would like to deliver like my message, but yeah, it's just tough, man. It's just tough. It was just a tough time.
Yeah.
Tough time, man. It was a tough time. And then I lost my mom. No?
Yeah, no, I could, I could see it still affects you. I know it comes in waves. All of a sudden, it just crashes on you, and you get like a flood of emotion going through. So my condolences to you on that, Demetrius. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, in terms of the performance, a lot of people were wondering, like, hey, like, well, what's going on here? This is not the Demetrius we're used to seeing in the ring. Others have pointed out, like, hey, that's just what happens when a Benavidez fights someone. It overwhelms them. But overall, now looking back at the fight, like, what'd you make of how it played out, in your opinion?
I mean, I went in there and just, like I said, like some of the usual way of training or some of the stuff that I'm used to hearing wasn't there because the corner was silent. It was like me and my dad had have like a relationship during that time. Andre Rosario, who was like sort of new to the situation, and then it just was a whole bunch of silence. It wasn't this normal stuff like the stuff that will keep me reminded, at the same time.
David Benavidez voiced similar concerns. While he praised Crawford's technique, he questioned if Crawford's power would translate to higher weight classes. Benavidez pointed out that Crawford would have to go up to weight divisions to confront Canelo, which he views a huge impediment.
I mean, I can't really say nothing about that. If that's what he wants to do, then that's what he's going to do. Canelo is a man that he does anything he wants to do. I don't think really what people say affects him. But I feel like the people, they want to see David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. It's the biggest fight to make happen, and I feel like I'm the biggest threat to him.
Benavidez emphasized the necessity of respecting weight divisions by giving Canelo an edge in a prospective battle, underlining the difficulty of facing a seasoned champion at a higher weight. Though Benavidez has long been a standout in the 147-pound class and is seen as a possible rival to Canelo, a fight between the two has yet to take place.
Everybody want to fight Canelo Alvarez.
Payday. I'm the face of boxing.
Crawford wanted a payday, but Crawford didn't do good at 54. When I talk to people, they all tell me you would have knocked him out at 68.
Well, he knows now. He experimented the 154, and he knows. Maybe he do in 168 for a big check.
My last thing, Canelo, you just donated $70 million.
Canelo's power and experience in higher weight divisions are obvious advantages. His ability to avoid strikes while delivering deadly counterpunches makes him a formidable opponent. Furthermore, Canelo's agility and ring movement complement his skill set, cementing his image as a dynamic and well-rounded fighter.
Look up the definition of boxing. Please look up the definition of boxing. The martial arts of boxing, and then come back with your opinion. Because boxing is not all about knocking somebody out. Yes, that's part of it. That can happen, but boxing is a sport where you can outpoint somebody too. That's why they go to the scorecard.
I appreciate that take, bro. That's real educated, man, real thoughtful. But you ain't had a decision win in a long time, bro. You known for like being a great finisher. So I appreciate that. But that ain't how you moving though.
Right.
Follow for more.
Crawford, who had recently moved up to 154 pounds, won the WBO interim super welterweight title, but looked to lack the power he had at 147 pounds. However, moving up to super middleweight to face Canelo would be a big step. The hurdles of this move include changing to the greater power and toughness of opponents in the higher weight bracket. Despite Crawford's superb technique and skill, questions linger about whether his strength and stamina will translate well to super middleweight.
This for all the nut huggers, the bud nut huggers, the bud butt buddies. You see that. You see that. We see that. You understand me? You see what that say? Jamel Charlo what is the WBA junior middleweight champion in recess? Jermell Charlo is the WBC junior middleweight champion in recess. Know what I mean? Virgil Ortiz Jr. is the WBC intern junior middleweight champion. Know what I mean? So make it make sense. People gotta make it make sense. Charlo's still a big dog there. Yeah, that's my camera behind me. Charlo's still a big dog there. So a lot of people need to get their facts straight. Understand? Opinions don't matter, it's all facts. No opinions, Sport Podcast. And I'm always gonna bring you the real, never the fake, and I'm never late on the news, you hear me? Get at me, man. Dollar.
Vestido de blanco, con vivos rojos y negros. Su peso oficial, 107 libras.
Despite the hurdles, Crawford's mobility and adaptability could be crucial in the fight. His ability to change stances and use both hands with equal efficacy adds an element of surprise, making him difficult to counter. Crawford's outstanding footwork and high ring IQ also allowed him to control the pace and distance, providing him the tools he needs to intelligently navigate the fight.
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo. 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done.
A battle between Canelo and Crawford would surely be a big financial event that drew global attention. Both fighters have big fan bases, and their bout is anticipated to make huge pay-per-view revenue. Revenue promoters and networks would have to make arrangements that suited both parties, such as purse splits, venue selection, and broadcasting rights.
You had to like Terrence's walk.
Oh, incredible. Right, yeah, especially being to the fight. No one knew who really was going to win. And you can see the confidence. And I don't think real confidence you can fake.
Terence Crawford has boldly stated that Canelo's out with him would be a lucrative chance. Crawford cited his increased popularity and achievements, especially since winning the undisputed welterweight champion, as important reasons in attracting tremendous interest to the fight. He stressed that their hypothetical battle would produce enormous cash in the form of pay-per-view sales, sponsorships, and global publicity, making Canelo's participation financially advantageous.
Crawford said he wanted to fight you.
Everybody
wants to fight you.
Yeah.
Now I saw at the end of the Crawford fight, the how they call him, the Excellency, Turkey, His Excellency. The Sheik said that he would be willing to pay whatever you want to fight Crawford.
Fine.
Yeah.
If he's willing to pay whatever I want, thumbs down.
That'll work. If yeah, you're in. So if the numbers were right with Crawford, you'll do it.
Why not? I think Crawford don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in, because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So if the money is right, I'm in right now.
However, Canelo has previously voiced doubts about fighting Crawford, citing concerns about the weight difference and the chance of losing credit for overcoming a lesser opponent. He has stated that, while he is open to conversations, any possible bout must be commercially and athletically viable.
Bud could be Canelo. Like I said, I've been saying this, I don't think size win fights, I think skills do. So yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would be Canelo.
Bud Crawford, just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight. Everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
Everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 weights class less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlook any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this, and then we'll see.
What are your thoughts on the potential mega fight? Do you think Crawford's abilities can overcome Canelo's strength and experience? Share your ideas in the comment section below.